What's up, guys? Brian back to talk about The Walking Dead. Robert Kirkman reveals original plan for Negan's kill. Well, it's from the comics, but we're going to talk about it for the show as well. But it's a comicbook.com article. It's pretty cool. They talk about it. Robert Kirkman's talking about things now, too. More stuff's going to be coming out because it's New York Comic Con this weekend. So we're going to have some new articles, which is pretty awesome. Spoilers are coming. Spoilers ahead. If you don't want to know some stuff here, we're going to talk about the comic, the show, Episode 1, the Negan kill, stuff like that. So I'm so ready for it to be done and over with so we can move on with our lives and everything going forward. October 23rd can't come soon enough. 17 days as we make this video. Comicbook.com, we'll put the link in the description. Definitely check it out. It's pretty cool. As Walking Dead fans, it's been difficult to sit and ponder who Negan killed, desperately trying to wait for the new season. As tough as it is for us, can you imagine how hard it would have been to create that moment? How hard was it for Robert Kirkman to decide which beloved comic character was going to make a brutal exit? It was a delicate balance to find, that's for sure. I can only imagine, though, you have a game plan for it. You're not just going to kill someone, and The Walking Dead never does anything without purpose. It's always good to have a show and a comic whenever that's building something for the future. So which one of these people would be killed? What do you think? You know, if you don't know the comic, you don't know the show, and you just see it a little bit, and you just saw it for the first time, you wouldn't have any idea. Maybe. If you could have chosen a smaller character that wasn't too important, it would have seemed like a scapegoat. After all, the build-up in the comic and later on the show, it would have been disappointing to not feel some pain. On the other hand, he couldn't have taken somebody extremely important if he decided to kill someone like Carl or pregnant Maggie. Fans would have started a riot. And that's for sure, so it is a fine balance of that too. Not too weak, not too strong, just right. And that is gotta be Glenn. Right? So if you pick Aaron, you're like, nah, that's pretty weak. Who cares? You know, he's not that big of an asset to the group. I do like Aaron. I like all these characters, but I don't like Aaron that much. Sasha, yeah, maybe, but again, not an asset. And definitely not Rosita. She's definitely not an asset to the group by any means, even though she is good, but you know, she's just not that big of a person. So finding the right victim was an insanely hard task, but Kirkman has revealed his mind has been made up for a while. In a panel at New York Comic Con, Kirkman spoke on the decision to have Negan kill Glenn in the comics. It was always supposed to be Glenn. Glenn was supposed to die earlier in the comic, but then I changed my mind. His original plan saw Glenn meet his end much earlier, but we wanted to save him for the special moment. So he always had a plan to kill him off, just like he's got a plan to eventually kill off Rick and a lot of people in The Walking Dead. But Glenn was always the guy. Glenn was always picked for this for some reason, and he kind of outweighed it there too. And the death has to mean something to the group. Really, it would mean something to all the group, and all the characters are important, but you know, there are rankings of characters that are important. Glenn is important, but of the Atlanta 5, probably Carol and himself are on the weaker end of that. You know, his death is going to mean a lot for sure, and it meant a lot in the comic. See Maggie punching Rick, sets up Maggie's arc. Pretty cool going down the road. It sets things up, you know, and the deaths have to do that. That's why Glenn and Abraham are going to be the victims, because it sets things up. In the comic, they're not there past this storyline, so they have to continue that somewhat in the story arc. Maggie's going to become strong, become leader of the Hilltop, be at the Hilltop, and really set up her being at the Hilltop to run that show. Glenn was always the victim in the comic, and I think it's going to happen on the show along with Abraham, so they have to mix things up. Does this revelation reveal Glenn as the victim for the Walking Dead series? Kirkman mentioned he planned killing Glenn earlier, but let him live until Negan's appearance. On the show, Glenn was always also thought to be dead at one point. Same kind of thing. That's why the whole dumpster fiasco, Dumpstergate, you know, all that crap with that too, which you knew he was going to live. The main characters have to die with other people to witness it. That just has to be done, because you can't have the main character die in a crappy death, and that's what would have been there. So it's always been Glenn from the comic perspective of Kirkman. I think they will carry that forward. If you know me, you know the channel, you know the spoilers, you know the revelations. We can't wait for October 23rd to move on with it. After being surrounded by walkers, Glenn seemed to be completely written off. He hid under a dumpster, however, he reappeared a couple of episodes later. These parallels are something to think about, but they don't have any bearing on the outcome of Negan's cliffhanger. Or do they? Who knows? It's just a thought. Post your comments. What do you think? What did you think of the dumpster crap? Did you like it? Did you not like it? It wasn't the biggest cliffhanger, I'd say, because we knew further episodes were going to come, and we had to wait a freaking month to find that out. The cliffhanger for the Negan victim was by far worse. He had to wait 6 months to get it, but we're coming up on that there too. Glenn, no time to explain, just get in, Oscar says. So what did you think of that whole thing? Let us know about Dumpster Gate and all that stuff. But the two victims that we're going with are Glenn and Abraham. Maybe Abraham first, then Glenn. I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, and I can't wait for it to come to conclusion. What did you make of this article? What do you think? Your shit now belongs to Negan. He can take it. But there you go, guys. Just love this picture. Like, share, subscribe to get more videos, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching.